as well, they're also first phasing it. So OG, clearly, the one hero that they respect a lot right now in the meta is Tree and Protector. Where if they're not first buff whilst we were talking.
Oh yeah, what we got?
Team Blink have literally played this exact 5-hero composition with the exact same draft order, kinda. They were second pick, not first pick. All Spirit Heroes, Tiny, and Tusk play the same way. It's not about the matchup itself, it's about who breaks that balance first, who gets the rune, who sees the opportunity.
But it looks like both teams are ready to go. Of course, this is the closed qualifier, best of 3. We're currently in the upper bracket, so the team that loses today will get another chance. So it's not, you know, nobody's going to be crying today. Nobody has to get too sad. There's another chance for whoever loses this best of 3. And of course, overall, 2 teams out of the 8 teams of this closed qualifier will get a spot in Division 2 of the upcoming DPC tour. So all very, very exciting. And so obviously that was Team Blink's lineup. We will go through OGs. Of course, you know the players, but we'll check in with the heroes they're on. We've got no one playing the carry. Bloodseeker. Topson, of course, will be playing the mid Tusk. You'll have No Tail supporting on the AA. And at the moment, hanging around the bottom half of the map, we've got Seb on that off-lane Magnus. And he'll have by his side MSS playing some Rubik.
30 seconds.
Yeah, and I think the coolest story of OG is MSS. The fact that we get to see him in the Western European team, and like he's been in NA for so long now, and he's been one of those players which is like so good, but yet to see like the results translate. And he's now joined, of course, the casual OG. But I think if he can just shine in some of these Western European games, they do well Div 2, get Div 1. Like I think MSS and No One, they're the players that. Oh yeah, I'm just excited to see them play with just OG and kind of prove that they also can kind of meet the quality that the OG lads kind of expect.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, of course, still very early days with this squad. They've just had the open qualifier run. I've got yesterday's game. They did get a free win, so this is their first match here in the closed qualifiers. OG. Yeah, we'll see how ready they are to go.
They played like the least amount of games. I think they played 5 games to get here due to the amount of forfeits. Like teams will go against them, it's like, oh, I can't really play right now, sorry. But then all the other teams, it's like they've had to play 8, 9 plus games, play multiple qualifiers. So I think for OG at least, if they're not scrimming, I think maybe they wanted that extra 1 or 2 games, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how if there's any rust coming into this first game against Team Blink.
Absolutely. I mean, looking at the lane setups, who's sort of top of the list in terms of who's going to have a pretty rough time in this laning stage?
I think currently who you're looking at right now, this Slark lane. When you're playing against Magnus Rubik, you'd think Slark would be okay with the against melee offlaner, but because you have Shockwave spam with the Fade Bolt spam, it's really hard for this Slark just to apply pressure, and he's more always farming backwards. It's what creeps are giving to him, rather than him running past the creeps and chasing down the lane and kind of forcing out the offlaner. So I think Seb and MSS are going to have a jolly old time, and you see how Seb, he's pulling back the creep wave, meeting in front of his tower, and MSS will prevent the pull. So this will probably be quite a difficult lane for Slark to at least find kills.
So top lane already, both Anko and Weston getting harassed pretty hard by Notes out. It's constant punches that he's able to throw out, and the threat of the blood right damage too.
It's pretty much both the side lanes for OG, or Old G, sorry, are just lane winners, right? You think about Hoodwink for it as well. Maybe they get to punish an overextension of No Tail, but
should be alright here. And he's got the Fairy Fire, we'll be able to walk it off. Indeed, not quite enough damage this early level from Blink's 2 heroes to make that sort of play. Keep our eyes on mid. So far on the CS here, Topson and Baxaz. Topson 7 for 1, Baxaz on the 10 for 2. So there's early levels. Topson having to deal with the spam of the Revenants every time he stands up towards him. And bottom lane, Seb will get first blood. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for missing the kill. I am not the world's greatest observer. And I'll just blame T for not telling me to look at bottom lane. T, come on.
No, because we're actually doing the radio cast this time around, and we'll be telling the audio listeners only that it was a shockwave into skewer under tower that killed off the silencer. There we go, yeah. I will be better at this, don't worry, Owen, sorry.
No, it's
My apologies.
Warming up.
Don't
We're
me,
not missing another
Thank
kill
you.
here. Everything else is going to get caught.
Alright, I'm now going to make sure I'm looking at your camera, my camera, and anytime you're... Okay. Whew. The pressure suddenly. Just going to scream just top mid or bot, alright?
Absolutely. So we'll be on it. We'll be on it. So if I see us, we've got 2 carries, 16 for 5 on no one. And down on the bottom, overkill, 12 for 1. See to the side, Seb.
Answer. There we go.
There we go. SMN, is he going to be able to walk this one off? He's got the stick charges, but he cannot escape them. Seb manages to take him down. We'll see overkill. Try to trade back at MSS, but he's got to be a little bit careful of this slug. Shockwave's going to drag him back. MSS just standing his ground. Will die, but Seb gets the cleanup. So Seb now 3 kills here, picked up by the off-lane Magnus.
And if you look at Seb's inventory, he started the lane with the Wraith Band, getting the 5 Agi plus the armor. It makes you quite beefy, and then he's looking to go for a second one as well. So just fully subscribing to the Agi tankiness of the offlane. And we mentioned Slark was the right-click heroes. It doesn't really help when that additional armor's in play. So him getting a double kill, yeah, MSS won't care at all. Thompson though in the mid lane, kind of getting rotated on.
And they got the pullback here with the Vortex. Wesson wasn't quite able to line up the roll, and in fact, well, with the help of the burst of MSS, they'll actually be able to take down back south. Sure, Thompson dies, but I think he'll be, satisfied with the fact that he was able to bring down the storm with him.
I mean, so basically Thompson tried to go for the shard play where he bumps himself to low ground, but because of the last word of silencer, he got silenced. So he kind of got forced to play on the higher ground, and then he found the kill. So it was... He wasn't looking for the kill. He was looking for an escape, and then because of just the events that unfolded, it was like, oh wait, let me just turn this around. Oh, the small things in Dota, they are the best. But, Backside was doing pretty good in mid lane, and unfortunately, that one little turnaround has kind of brought the lane back a little bit more even.
Keeping our eyes on top. Wesson very much moving around the map here, trying to see where he can make some sort of a play. Try with the setup onto No Tail. And not telling no one. And just turn over towards Anku. Hold back with the stun. We'll be able to stop no one from continuing to focus down Hoodwink himself. But he can look towards Wesson. Because Wesson has got the roll ready. But no one. And you can see with the movement speed. Trying to get in position, so it's going to be maybe difficult for Wesson to get the easy escape. And it's just proven to be very hard for these two from Blink to really fight the Bloodseeker right now. They're still going to try it. Wesson rolls in. Get the kickback. But no one. And he's going to be able to sort of just dance around the edge of the fight as No Tail kind of just slowly beats down Wesson. One more hit will do it. There's no one. He's going to be able to get round and finish off the kill. They will lose No Tail here. But all in all, no one being able to get the cleanup and staying in good position to keep farming in this lane. Continues to free farm. 32 and 14, top CS on the game right now.
Yeah, mid lane 50-50 rune. Stonesford gets it with the invis. Thompson unable to get it, but due to the AA death, can TP and refill the bottle. I think interestingly, when you look at No Tail's skill build, he's gone for this 0-2-1 build. Normally against with like Bloodseeker and stuff, you see players go for cold feet plus chilling touch to keep them in play, but Thompson.
A bit of an attempt onto Thompson. Was able to dodge the initial roll with the snowball, but still
shards.
After that, is there going to be any way to get out? Cannot do so. Tries to make a cute play there with the shards, potentially to push himself to safety, but not able to get up to the high ground. So Blink, and 2 of them teaming up. I mean, Wesson's been keeping a good eye on where he can make these moves, and coming over to the mid and slowing down Thompson's game. That's going to be very, very important for him. Bottom lane, Seb. Both him and S-Man Cess will have to walk this off. Seb's fine, has got the headdress. He's got a couple of tangos still good to go, so they can slowly regen back up down here. The laning situation, though, not too bad, honestly, for Overkill on the Slark, right? It's 30 last hits here. It's not like he's getting completely bullied out of this lane at all. He's still able to find some decent farm, and closing on the 6. Thompson does want to make a move before that Shadow Dance comes online, and will manage to get in underneath the tower, take down Overkill, screw a 4 from Seb. With that rotation from Thompson, they'll be able to clean out the bottom lane, which is definitely needed there from OG, because things weren't going too bad for the Slark so far.
Yeah, the cool play there was he told No Tail after making stacks in jungle, you take mid, he TP bottom. I think he got seen a little bit, or at least they kind of predicted it because they were positioning backwards. But because Thompson had the ward available from what he's going to place on the River Rune, he quickly used it to get the Slark kill. So I expect this bot ward to get dewarded, but yeah, just nice speed of play from Thompson. Just to put a little bit of pressure on Slark, who, we're just talking about, was having a pretty okay game.
Oh, back Sass, he's going to get aggressive in on the mid. No Tail caught immediately there by the jump from Blink. So again, some fast moves around the mid lane from Blink. Thompson and MSS looking to strike back. They'll trap SMN in with the shards. So that's the backup of Wesson. Get the curse out onto the 2 of them. So if that's going to be enough to allow Wesson to maybe chase down these heroes.
Yep.
Baxaz has enough mana to close the gap, in fact. Zips across, catches Thompson, now towards MSS. Blink, they're going to keep this going. So they'll look towards the Rubik. No Tail TP's in, trying to help turn things around, but MSS will still die. So Blink able to continue to find these trades against OG in these early fights.
Yeah, just Blink that. They're the ones bringing the numbers, making sure they're ready to start the fight, and then OG TPing in are able to can at least get some recovery kills. But I like the fact that Blink, even though the lanes didn't go so well due to just the strength of OG's kind of laning potential, they are just bringing the fight to kind of cover themselves a little bit, not allowing OG to win the lanes and set the early pace of the game. It's kind of commendable stuff right now, but I think for Blink at least, they need to, in the back of their minds, go, we haven't really shut down this Bloodseeker, and also we haven't really shut down the Magnus. We've been dealing with Tusk, the support's annoying them, but we're yet to really stop the kind of the main kind of winning concept of OG's lineup in their early game farm, but still, pretty okay start from Team Blink.
For sure, and yeah, they are going to have to be very careful with how they choose to fight the Bloodseeker. Pretty much one of those textbook heroes that if you don't quite able to burst him in that initial jump, highly likely that the rest of his team is able to set up the fight in a way that Bloodseeker's going to be able to turn around and go back at you. We'll see over in the mid, Wesson finding the setup on Thompson. Thompson underneath the tower, by a bit of safety able to snowball, able to dodge the sharpshooter from the Hoodwink. Turns around with a punch. Seb and MSS heading over to help out, but Baxaz has enough mana to zip forward and take down Thompson. Is pretty much out of mana now, but he's got a lot of backup. Blink bringing in the numbers. Anku, Wesson, and SMN turning up to make sure that Baxaz gets the double kill. And OG, they get nothing out of the move around mid. Weston, in fact, he's not done. He spots Seb stepping down into the river, rolls forward, opens up with the silence. Seb has the shockwave, will opt to use the skewer to try and get away, but good stun from Anku does catch him. Thinking about chasing Seb here, but hasn't got anything else to throw out against the Magnus. So another fight. Blink 9-10, only 1k gold down at the moment against OG. I mean, you said it, during the draft. This is a draft. This is a 5-man lineup in terms of the heroes that Blink's played before, and you feel it. They're playing this early game very nice in response to what OG's trying to bring at them.
Yeah, they're being super aggressive, utilizing the Storm and the Earth Spirit to kind of lock on that initial fight, and then they got the Hood on Silencer behind just to help with the kind of the cheaper damage to kind of convert on the kills. But for OG at least, they started this fight with a double smoke of AA Rubik running into the bot jungle, whilst Thompson's playing quite aggressive on mid. So a little bit of kind of miscommunication where Thompson posturing in his Thompson positioning, the supports were about 5-10 seconds away, and if OG kind of synced that up a little bit, maybe waited 3-4 seconds so both heroes are kind of in the same area at the same time, could have probably been a bit better for OG. But the fact that Team Blink see that opportunity, punish it very quickly, it is going to make a little bit of a discomfort towards OG. But once again, Magnus is able to get out, Bloodseeker continues to free farm, and when you think about the carry v carry, Bloodseeker v Slug, of course Slug is going to have some issues throughout the entire game. If he ever goes low HP, Bloodseeker counters him. Otherwise, should be fair. And also, for Blink as well, Slot can't get ruptured. That's why I think Earth Spirit, Storm Spirit are going to be really annoying for OG, at least in the later portion of the game. Because even though they aren't going to get ruptured, they're going to be jumping the Earth Spirit, annoying him, forcing him to retreat, which allows him to be in a bad position to give Slot kind of better entry to the fight. But yeah, again, both these lineups, a lot of skirmishing, a lot of fighting, a little bit of a lead to OG, but that's only because of how well their lanes went.
We'll see here, Blink trying to make that move towards this area. They know that no one has had a lot of space down here. The two of them smoked up, Wesson and Baxaz, but OG, they've got the numbers. We'll see if they're able to take this fight. Blink, Baxaz goes straight in, looks towards No-Tail, Global Silence online and ready to go. Popped immediately to enable Baxaz to go in and be fully covered here as he's able to safely take down both of OG's supports. No one has Seb stepping forward, but Blink, they're still maybe happy to take this fight. Seb will drop the RP onto the two of them, but no one goes down. Seb trying to stand his ground to at least trade with the Storm, and will manage to find that in returns. Thompson also committing in to make sure that OG can find a second kill out of this. But overall, it's 4 kills for Blink. OG at a point now where it's actually them that's struggling to necessarily deal with the fight that Blink's bringing towards OG.
Yeah, this was perfect. Blink needed that opportunity to kill off the Bloodseeker Magnus, kind of the untouched heroes of the game so far. And I think Baxaz, he's just had a stellar game so far. When you think about Storm's Threat and what he can do, there aren't any cheap stuns to really lock him down. So he sees a Rubik or an AA, he's going to jump in. Covered by the global, absolutely perfect. Like that entire fight was set up just from Silencer, locating both supports, throwing down a quick arcane curse on both of them, and then allowing Storm's Threat and Ursa to quickly jump in. And you know, you could see the OG kind of playstyle, which was, even though they're dead, spells are used, let's try and get something from it. Blink was still in the position to punish and to play, and I think the fact that Storm Spirit on like 1/3 mana just hid behind that tree, look for that additional play. Yeah, I think Blink, they're coming into this series with confidence, and that's the key thing. It's fun to see them going toe for toe in these early fights.
Let's see OG back towards the bottom lane, the three of them. Blink, definitely the way the last few fights are going, I can't imagine they'll let this tier 1 go down for free. There's definitely a chance they'll respond to this, especially with Global Silence being back up in 15 seconds.
I think the key difference in the teams right now is OG is itemizing for how Blink is winning these fights right now. They're going straight BKB on Tusk, straight BKB on Bloodseeker, Greaves on the Magnus. Global will do nothing. And Storm can just zip out mid.
Global's going to be there. Thompson, of course, still able to close in on the gap with the snowball, but now the counterplay comes in. Wesson turns in with the silence. They have the control as well from Baxaz. They'll take Thompson down. Baxaz has just enough mana to zip up to the high ground, but will still end up going down there. Damage between MSS and No-Tail that was thrown out upon him. So trade there between the mids. Both mids going down. OG, of course, at least able to force out the Global Silence. So maybe a bit of a window for OG to look for something else now.
Yeah, potentially. I think as soon as Tusk is back up, they're going to keep poking. But because you don't have a Blink Dagger Magnus, it's not as easy to make those quick plays. Like when you kill a Storm, you smoke and look, but because it's so early in the game, Storm's already going to be alive, and with no tier 1 towers taken, it's very easy for him to re-enter the fight. And I wouldn't be surprised if OG, they do these continued smokes, which is like, poke your head for a cheap kill, quick reset, because they're not looking to win a fight or win the game right now. They're looking to make that kind of that game-breaking play in kind of 5-6 minutes time. When the Greaves, the double BKB is online, Glimmer Cape on Rubik, like they're fully itemizing for that one big fight to break the game. I'd say by minute 20. By minute 20, OG are going to have a fight where they should, on paper, with their items, be much stronger than Blink. And poor SMN just gets trapped up.
See, TP's coming in. They want to be able to back SMN up. In fact, SMN's still alive. Thompson wasn't able to finish him off. The TP's come in. Blink, not a team to let a man go down on his own there. They're there with the backup, and they make sure that SMN, he's walking out alive with that one, T.
I mean, when you're playing mid-Tusk, right, if you commit with a snowball, you've committed. You can't back out. And, you know, Thompson, aggressive player. He's kind of feeling the repercussions of his aggression. A couple of times now, he's kind of snowballed into absolute doom and despair.
That's going to be the tier 1 going down. That kill that Blink's able to take against Thompson, they take the tower. Top lane as well, they're also looking for action up here. Zeb has to drop the RP to buy himself some sort of safety. Will be able to land the combo nicely there with a follow-up from No-Tail. So Blink will be punished for that move up top. Seb and No-Tail able to turn that one around and keep no one safe.
Oh, and Seb returning with a tip, you know. We haven't seen many tips. It's more been Team Blink tipping each other and stuff.
Oh.
And Seb... Oh, wait.
He's just able to come in and take him down. SMN will get finished off by no one. But a nice little snipe there from Anku. Indeed, immediately going in and taking him down.
I'm sorry, but you're casting the game. I'm casting the tips here. I'm just... As soon
keep
as
your
Seb,
you got to keep your eyes on the tip game.
Mate, as soon as Seb tipped, I was like, hold up. If he dies here, Wesson's returning. And as soon as he dies, like, wait, bam, there we go. So right now, keep an eye. Earth Spirit versus Magnus. The little battle between the two.
Oh, hang on.
Christ, MSS, you
He got the kill.
Genius.
I went away because I was like, there's no way he's going to find something with this. But he was going around with the ball lightning behind the tier 2s. And he's actually able to find Baxaz walking home.
He went on the longest journey possible. Like, he went all the way down through bot jungle, behind the tier 2, tier 3 midden. Fair bloody play, mate. I said at the very start, I wanted to see MSS pop off, and that's just, they're the small plays.
That's the kind of moves, yeah. You don't expect them. I didn't, and Baxaz certainly didn't as well. He was like, well, I'm going to be fine in walking back, but no, MSS making moves with the ball lightning across the map to turn that ball lightning against the Storm.
And now, I mentioned this timing of OG. BKB, 200 gold away for Tusk. Seb, you know, what was it? 200 gold away from Greaves. Bloodseeker already a BKB. Like, they are about to be so strong after a very chaotic early game.
Oh, SMN. He's not getting any up this time. There's nothing to do to help him there. OG get the quick kill. We'll see over in the mid. There's the rupture setup from No One. Make sure that Wesson has no chance of running from them. And now the tips are back on the menu here.
There we go.
Throwing them out the way as Wesson gets taken down. We'll see them eyeing up more. Thompson straight underneath the tier 2. There's the shard down to Anko. Quick punch up. Double kill for Thompson. Maybe more as Baxaz is kind of fighting on his own, and he's a little low on the mana. Thompson, he's still got the moves. With this haste rune still going, he can stay on top of the storm. They'll take out a 4th. And indeed, No-Tail joining in on the tipping game after a fight like that. As 4 heroes taken away from Blink, OG lose nothing. That's the kind of aggression that OG want to be getting away with.
Yeah, and that's kind of the game-breaking play I expected. They actually did it a little bit quicker. Without the BKB and the Greaves, they still went for it because it was a perfect opportunity. Earth Spirit all by himself and just finding the players. And now with tag team into Roshan with the Greaves, double BKB. If you look at Team Blink and the items they
can
have,
Blink stop this?
I mean, they can poke them, but when they see the items that OG have, they're going to be a little bit afraid.
So we'll get a bit of damage onto Seb
Okay,
with the Sharpshooter. It's buying time for the majority of them to set up.
Yeah.
Still some time that Baxaz is out. He's going to be back in a second. See Weston keeping his distance. Thompson's actually going to be following up with the snowball up to the high ground here. So pretty deep. Thompson, low on the HP, has got the BKB. He gets healed up by the Greaves from Seb. And now the global silence comes out. Thompson turns over towards SMN. Will be able to deal with the silence. Over to the side. No one's in with the BKB. Takes out Overkill. Baxaz will zip away. Incredibly on the HP. Anku able to trap the two of them. We'll see a snipe attempt to heal with the ultimate. And oh, it's going to be on target, but it shouldn't be enough damage. I believe Baxaz will be more than fine here. So he's going to live, but at the least we'll keep him held in the fountain. So OG, they're able to step away from the Roshan, get themselves a couple of kills, and then straight back to business. This Roshan should be theirs.
Oh, okay, let's just run away.
I mean, Blink's still trying to put a stop to this, but it's already been done. No one finishing off the Rosh, gets the Aegis. Set will get taken out. See if they can deal with the Aegis on the Bloodseeker. Maybe they can take it down the once. Not quite. Glimmer up, throwing the way of No One, keeping him safe here from this damage that Weston's trying to keep on top of him. Also a few creeps around, which will be very handy there for No One to heal up a little bit and protect this Aegis. And that he's just picked up another Glimmer used to allow him to separate himself from Baxaz. As OG, very miraculously, they're able to actually keep that Aegis completely fine here on No One. So whilst they do lose Thompson and Seb, they will be able to reset and still have plenty of time this next upcoming 4 minutes to make a move with No One having the Aegis.
Yeah, some just nice utility from NSS, right? Just constant Glimmer Capes, always being in the position to help out. And yeah, again, I feel like for Blink, they're showing that they're able to constantly take cheap fights, but when you compare both teams, like OG, after a cheap fight, they're kind of planning something ahead, right? And for Blink, they're playing in the moment, which is great. It's allowing them to go toe for toe, but you're not really seeing that kind of what's next opportunity. It's always, let's wait and see what fight occurs. And I think that's how this 5k lead's being built for OG. And if you're Team Blink, I kind of like where they're going with, at least with the Slark. Go for the Shard, get that Depth Shroud online. Go for the cheap fights. Like when you're going against like RP and stuff, you throw that Depth Shroud and whoever gets RP'd, you're going to save them very quickly. Go for the turnaround fight. But yeah, Team Blink still not really buying any items to be incredibly tanky right now. It's just going for the damage, finding the opportunities to go for the kills. And if they can kite out the BKBs, kite out the Greaves, then they can go toe for toe. But if they don't, then still it could be quite difficult. OG for sure are setting the pace right now in this in the mid game.
So build by Seb, just continue to build out those auras, the Greaves into the pipe. Yeah, Anku's nearly got his item done. He's nearly got that completed Glide Net. We'll see if they want to respond to this. OG, they're able to take the top tier 1 tower. Still moving forward here with the 2 minutes or so on the Aegis. No One. So having his Glide Net now complete.
Going for an additional bit of lockdown, because if he looks at Seb's going for the Greaves and then into a pipe. So kind of going for Gleipnir to cover the CC mag's not providing because he doesn't have Blink. Bloodseeker's also kind of covering a little bit.
We're going to come in with the TPs. Blink. Look towards Thompson. He's going to try with a TP out, and he is away. Literally just before that last right click was going to come in. Couldn't have been any closer. Thompson will live. See them pop the global. So give them a chance to pick off the supports. They do get no tail, and they will get MSS. So quick move there around the global silence to take down 2 members of OG, maybe even more. They look towards no one, and without the support backup, no one might be in trouble 2 times back-to-back here. That's the Aegis gone. They'll line up for a second attempt on him, and of course with the BKB already used early in the fight, there's no escape. An excellent punch back there from Blink, immediately deciding to make that play as soon as they were aware that OG had sort of relaxed a little bit and backed up as a team from committing for the tier 2 tower. They get caught split up, and it hurts big time. 3 dead, maybe more. So already underneath the tier 2. Got Overkill and Weston looking towards Seb and Thompson. Of course, these two, the tankier of the members of OG, so not quite so easy to go for. They're still going to try it. Remember the drag back of the Vortex. Pounce ball from Overkill. They've been able to take down Thompson, and Seb, he stands no chance on his own. As Blink, they strike back hard. They're going to be straight down the mid and pretty much taking the tier 2 away from OG, which pretty much occurs like a minute after, where I think they pretty much assumed that they were going to be the team taking down the first tier 2 this game. That's not the case. Blink strike back.
Yeah, this was the perfect opportunity, right? There's no BKBs on OG because they're either using it to run away from the global, or Thompson already used his TP out, so Thompson's not even there. And that's the strength of Silencer plus Stormset, right? You global, Storm just zips in. AA Rubik, they can't do anything against this. Sure, maybe a Glimmer Cape or a 4-staff if they're quick on the fingers, but if they're jumped, they're gonna die, especially when Earthspirit connects. So Blink, they've been struggling so hard in these fights because OG have been kind of setting the pace. But when they see an opportunity, especially when Thompson just left the fight to be via tier 2, yeah, the perfect time for Blink to literally go 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. That wasn't a team fight. That was just a brutal chase down on OG just retreating after just very aggressive positioning. And yeah, I love the fact that Blink, they get 1 kill, they keep going. Like, again, I want to see them try and connect it into something bigger, because right now all their fights, all their killing have kind of not really led to anything more, but I want to see that tenacity again from them, because that was a 5k lead from OG, just completely lost with 1 misplay, and now they're smoking up. It's like, guys, we're strong, why are we sitting back? Let's go for the kill. This could be a moment where Blink, if they turn it around once again, then maybe they start to grow a lead themselves.
No one leading the way, looking to open up here with the Gleipnir. The Rupture on who we can find.
Oh, they're chasing the Hoodwink! Run!
Anku should be safely out of harm's way here. They definitely seem to be aware that this move's coming towards them. Anku does get caught, but Blink will let him die. In fact, Seb, even dropping down the RP for that pesky Hoodwink.
Alright, to be fair, if you look at the minimap, there are 3 dire wards in the perfect position of where Hoodwink ran down from mid all the way to bot lane. So it's like he was fully envisioned the entire time. And Blink, they actually wanted a group of us 5 and do a wraparound smoke themselves, but unfortunately for Hoodwink,
Backsaz, he's considering going in on them. He knows that OG have sort of relaxed a little bit once again and split up. As they'll get the kill. Backsaz, indeed, as soon as he picks that up, he's not messing around. Picks up No-Tail's gem, goes for the zip TP. Let's see if Weston's going to be able to TP out as well. Oh my goodness. We're getting some close TPs this game. That stolen sharpshooter from MSS nearly able to take him down, but not quite. He's out in time with the TP. And again, just another smart move there from Blink as a team, deciding to go back in with just the 2 of them, realizing they can get that kill on No-Tail. They can pick up his gem, and they can get out of there.
Plays from Blink right now. Like, your Hoodwink dies, but you linger in the area. You get vision of the gem, instantly get it and run away. Like, they're just, every play OG's trying to make to apply pressure, Blink is just able to at least find an opportunity to turn it around. So, like, the gem is such a key factor in closing out the map.
Mid setup. Seb will show himself. Straight away they'll try and let's go for the play. MSS looks to help out with the Glimmer Cape thrown down onto Seb. Look at a chance for them to turn with no one. Chasing down Wesson. The stolen sharpshooter hitting onto Backsaz. The follow-up Gleipnir keeps the storm locked down. OG able to get things going back their way once more again here with the double kill for no one. We'll see an attempted escape from Anku, but indeed Thompson traps him out there. No chance of escape. OG find the 3 of them, and the creeps moving in on the mid. Should be their chance to take down a tier 2 themselves.
And gem recovered. So after all the hype of Blink finding these small little moments, OG just kind of group up and go, let's fight together, guys. Let's just crush them together.
Over to the side. Still the two members alive of Blink, SMN and Overkill, staying out on the map. Underneath the tower, they'll happily go. A bit of an ambitious TP attempt there from SMN. Gets abruptly shut down by the snowball from Thompson. As OG pick up a 4th kill off the back of the team fight and continue to get the lead back in their hands here. 3K lead at the moment now for OG.
Yeah. This fight is the perfect example of how OG wants to take fights. It's this Magnus getting initiated on with a Greaves, with a Pipe. He's even going Halberd after this. Like, he wants to just be the center of attention and then allow all the other heroes around him to kind of, at least AA and Rubik, to hide in the trees, not get jumped by the Storm Spirit, Earth Spirit, and then take the fight from there. And that's exactly what happened in that engagement. OG positioned nicely that Magnus was the one that was jumped. Blink got a little bit kind of excited to initiate, but we're at the point in the game now with these lineups, it's just non-stop fight, fight, fight. Like, there's no reason either team needs to back down right now. OG go from 5k lead to no lead to 5k lead. Like, at any minute, this game can just accelerate to a 10, 20k lead for one team, depending on who gets the perfect jump. And yeah, OG kind of in the driving seat right now.
In terms of timing, still just the 1 minute until Roshan is back up. So OG may just look to hold this position on the map to make sure that they can set up for that next objective. Yeah, Blink, they are going to want to do something about this. At the same time, Baxar's close to his BKB. Mid-lane Thompson is rather far from the rest of his team. We'll see if OG can get over in time to help him. They can't. Thompson caught a little too far from the rest of his teammates. And Blink, they may be able to go for more. I mean, obviously the BKB potential from no one does mean that they're very cautious about how they approach the Bloodseeker. So, I mean, at the least, they'll be very happy with just getting a free kill on Thompson like that.
That is some aggressive positioning. Like, I'm looking at the minimap, I'm like, isn't Thompson just a little bit too far away from his team? Like, sure, he has BKB, and that'll allow his team to get there, but if he ever gets hit by a quick Vortex or an Earth Spirit roll without pressing BKB, he's gonna die, and that's exactly what happened. Thompson, of course, it's in his playstyle, it's how he annoys and breaks teams, but, you know, Blink have done a very good job at least reading Thompson's aggression and going, wait a second, this is a bit too cheeky for our liking. I think the cool thing as well with Thompson's playstyle at least is his itemization. He didn't go for the Orb of Corrosion. He didn't rush Blink Dagger. He went for the BKB. He then goes Deso. Like, his just aggressive posturing allows him not to always go for Blink this early. And also he doesn't waste economy on items that he doesn't need. So yeah, I like the fact that he's going for like the standard task, which is buy Corrosion, buy Blink, buy BKB, then look for items after. It's refreshing to see people just play the same heroes, but slightly different.
Oh, Roshan's back up. Next team fight could result in the winning team grabbing that Aegis. Everyone ready to go here. All ultimates online and available for both sides. Now we'll see who makes the jump first. It's going to be Baxart. Immediately gets caught though by the telekinesis. Global Silence will be able to keep him covered, but still with the punch up, they have a bit of disable through that BKB of Baxar's. Not enough though. Able to zip away and keep his distance. And will up for the TP back to base. Make sure he can refuel that mana as quickly as possible. OG, I want to try and do something potentially whilst the Storm is refueling. But won't be able to catch anyone from Team Blink. As Team Blink, they'll back off. Wait until Baxar's is ready to rejoin them. OG, they're going to try and force the Roshan during this time. No one in Thompson. Immediately move into the pit. See if Blink are able to time some sort of initiation to get in and put a stop to this, because it's going down fast. Seb trying to keep the area between them covered. BKB's committed. They're looking for a goal. He's able to get the snatch. Overkill, able to find the perfect time to jump in. As OG, they get the kill on Roche, but Slark, he's got the Aegis. Seb strewn away to safety. You'll see no one turn back over towards Wesson. OG will at least get the one kill against Wesson, but overall, Overkill, he's the man to walk away with the Aegis T.
Woo! Like, the fact that Blink, they didn't have global, they needed to just play on, you know, positioning there to try and get in. Of course, they got Earth Spirit, Storm Spirit, Slut. They got probably 3 of the best heroes to go for a snipe, and as soon as they had that inkling it was going low, just go. Avengers assemble, everyone in the pit. like mobility in. Sure, they get SMN after, but mad respect for Blink to get the Aegis. I think if you're OG though, these are the type of moments where it's like, just keep going. That's been the theme of the game for OG. Even when they lose a fight, just keep going. We have items, keep going. Seb just picked up Halberd, keep fighting. It's like even when they're getting like at least outplayed in these smaller moments in regards to, say, the Aegis snipe and stuff, like they're not going, wait a second, wait out Aegis now. It's like, no, we misplayed, we gave him Aegis, let's just go for another tower, let's go for another fight, we'll beat them in the next fight. It's the confidence that you kind of obviously expect from these players. And Blink, they have done an incredible job, even though the net worth doesn't reflect it. They've done an incredible job at least going toe for toe in the skirmishes, constantly just looking at the fight and just kind of being on the same level.
So yeah, OG get chased out of Blink's jungle here. There's a zip force from Baxaz. He's able to close in on No Tail. Wesson trying to control MSS, sets up for Baxaz to zip over and indeed get the line there to clean up both supports from OG. One thing that Blink are very much good at, as we're seeing time and time again in this fight, is in this match, anytime they know OG split up, they're immediately going for these sort of plays. They take every opportunity that gets presented to them.
It's just fun to see. And I think if you look at Slark real quick, his pivot after his, because against the Bloodseeker, he's going for the Sanjin Yasha. You don't often expect this to be like a 4th item pickup, but against the Bloodseeker, needing that status resistance, get rid of Rupture a little bit quicker, get off the silences a little bit quicker. It will allow him just to exist within the fight. So yeah, just yeah, Blink. They've overcome the mid-game hurdle of OG, which was that big double BKB, Greaves timing, the Roshan advantage, and they now put themselves in a comfortable position.
Mid lane, try and get this combo locked down onto Thompson, but the BKB's out in time. Global will be popped. Thompson's able to chase Wesson up to the high ground and get the kill, but now with this BKB coming to an end, there's an opening for Baxaz to zip in, grab him with the Vortex. Teresha commits with the Shadow Dance, and now he's going to turn over towards Seb. The silence will cause him to have to hold his ground for now. Slark won't be able to continue to chase right at this moment in time. Yeah, good kick from Wesson there, getting SMN up to the safety of the high ground. No one will manage to commit him with the BKB and continue to chase him out to the high ground. Looks over towards Wesson as well. Will manage to get that cleanup on both supports. Back in the river, Aegis has been taken out of the hands of Overkill. OG won't be set up to take a second life from him though. Still, very much seeing the power of the Bloodseeker. No one 14, 2, and 3. You can see in the net worth difference as well. Of course, this whole game pretty much has had that top spot. And we're very much seeing, in these team fights, whilst Blink, they could pretty much kill anyone else on OG, dealing with the Bloodseeker is getting very, very tough for them. Yeah,
it's the idea that Blink win fights after BKBs are used, and when they have ability to throw numbers into a hero. And that type of fight there, Blink, they had the confidence of, guys, we've been winning some of these fights. Let's try and make a play out themselves. But they're jumping on a Tusky BKBs. Then they follow up after BKB ends. And in that position, like OG, they have high ground advantage on their side of the river. They're still posturing nicely to take the fight. So yeah, I think for Blink at least, it goes back to my previous point about they're really good at winning secondary fights. But they're just struggling a little bit with that instant burst on heroes. So still a very delicate game, very in the balance. But they just have to respect the tankiness for OG. If they ever mis-execute or don't perfectly CC a hero down, that's when OG will just thrive. Especially you mentioned the Bloodseeker. Like, yeah, he's 14, was it 2 and 3? A stellar game so far from no one.
Now you've got that threat of Seb with the Blink Dagger. He's managed to get all those other items that he wants to have first as an offlaner, but now that that Blink, whenever it comes out from the Magnus, it really is that extra threat that someone's going to get caught by. Seb, highly likely to be able to make the jump, make that sort of counter play as well, unless SMN can keep it perfectly played with the global silence. Because even with that, there's ways for Seb to remove that from himself. We'll see underneath the tower, no one. Popping the BKB, Anku tries for the TP out. They've gone pretty aggressive here, OG. And Blink will rise to the occasion to try and fight back at them. They've lost Wesson. Baxaz with his own BKB will have to walk this one off. Thompson underneath the tower tries to go in deep to take out SMN. Pops the BKB in an attempt to run away, but the physical damage will be enough to take him out. So Blink, as a whole, once again, punishing OG there for the aggression. Only losing Wesson. And in return, able to take Thompson out.
these fights are so chaotic, and I think for Thompson at least, he's always going in. You know, he's got one direction towards the enemy Ancient, and then when Slark's cutting into the backline, it is causing a little bit of disconnect with OG where Thompson's off by himself going for the big play. Seb was nicely positioned trying to help Notel, and yeah, just the chaotic nature of Blink's fights when they're in like an area that they want to play in. If they don't overcommit, if they keep poking, keep chipping in fights, they thrive. They really annoy OG. So I think Blink's learning a lot throughout these engagements, which is like anytime they've committed on a hero by fully going in, using all resources to get to a position, that's when they're losing. But when they like throw a spell out, disengage, throw a spell out, disengage, that's when OG suddenly Thompson's a little bit too deep, or Notel's getting saved by Seb. So I think Blink, they are kind of adapting as the game goes, and for OG, they're probably not too concerned. Like, and if you think about their team comms, it's like, guys, we still have Blink RP. We just need to find that one entry to a fight together as a cohesive unit, and then we'll be fine. So I think both teams honestly are going to be pretty happy right now. There's no one team like completely in a bad position.
No, it's a close game.
It is. It is. And the amount of D wards coming out from Blink, of course, with the Slark getting to see when he's the Shadow Dance isn't available. It's really helping Blink just have a little bit more entry into some of these fights.
Of course, as we saw, just being picked up as well, BAXEL for the next fight. He's got that Hex completed, so a very, very nicely farmed Storm. And already we've seen with the sort of target prioritization from him, he's been smashing it in these team fights. 15, 6, and 9 this game on the mid Storm. A hero that, you know, not a lot of people are playing right now in competitive, but BAXEL's making it look very, very good. Top lane, we'll see them try and keep Overkill completely locked down. And we'll have the RP timed nicely to make sure there is no escape for Overkill from playing pretty deep down the top lane. Obviously felt a bit safer as a Slark than maybe he should have there, as clearly OG, they did have the AoE control to make sure that he doesn't get away with being on that part of the map.
Yeah, I think when you think about Magnus versus Slark, as soon as you have Blink with the skewer, Slark throws down his shard, his depth shroud, you're always going to be able to skewer whoever's inside the shroud away from it to find the kill. So yeah, Magnus just, 1v1 does pretty well against the Slark.
See, BAXEL in the mid. I mean, he's got the BKB. He's going to be fine. Or, as I say, they're going to try and chase him. He's still got a decent amount of mana left. And indeed, was zipped to a very safe distance before being able to TP out. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he was. Not often that you sort of see the Storm going for that mid tower damage at the tier 3. Nearly gets caught out as well because no one from the high ground was able to just come in and get him with that first hit bash and into the active of the Abyssal.
The best. To be fair, it's like after that play, if you just look at the minimap and how OG played it, they had, I think it was like Magnus and Tusk top mid, instantly behind the tier 2s, tier 3 area, skipping the waves. So Storm Spirit on the map, like he sees 2 big cores just by the towers at his own base. So it's like going there is a fair play. It's just you get hit by a bash and something's different. And again, just I feel like the net worth in this game is extremely fake. Like, there's never really been a lead. Even though OG has been like 5k, 2k this entire time, it's like, it just feels like a dead even game. But way easier for OG to like execute in fights, if that makes sense, because they're the ones that can 100 to 0 a hero. And I'm just looking at Hoodwink. If you compare like the offlaners, right, between Hoodwink and a Magnus. Hoodwink, Gleipnir, Octarine Core, Blink Dagger. It's all about like getting in and out, poking, killing, just executing a hero. On the other hand, Seb, he's like the big beefy boy, you know, he walks into the middle, he enables the rest of his team. It's fun when you compare like the same role and what they're trying to provide, because it's like, who is the Seb on Blink?
It's kind
Blink's
of
team. Like,
it's
they don't
Wesson,
have,
right?
Kinda, yeah.
He's the one that's rolling in, and obviously he has, you know, he's nowhere near as tanky as a Magnus with the items that Seb has, but I mean, it's kind of been him and BAXEL, right? They go in.
Yeah.
You know, these fights, these two, they're not afraid to zip forward, roll in, very much trusting in, you know, and rightfully so, because, you know, SMN, each time they've gone for those plays, the global always has been there just to be able to sort of trip OG up and slow down OG's response to these, you know, not necessarily the most tanky heroes that Blink's throwing into the front of the fight.
it's fun when you see that type of play style. It's like, we're not going to be defensive. It's just all out offense. And if we lose the game, it's because we haven't been able to execute in our offensive nature. And like that type of mentality where you don't really have a plan B of defense, it's like, you don't see it often in drafts. Most kind of captain drafters always have some level of it. Like OG, they've got Tusk for some type of save, Rubik for save, Magnus in the high ground defense. Like they have many layers of offense and defense. Where Blink is like, boys, we go in, we find kills, we get out. You know, it's been a great game so far. Like honestly, I'm happy that it hasn't been like a one-sided game that I think most people watching, they'll always look at OG and go, yeah, it's the EU closed qualifiers. Of course they'll win, you know? It's really cool to see that they are having to go toe-for-toe.
Backsaz, we're going to go for the quick kill to start things off. Goes straight away over towards the Rubik. MSS gets taken out, but the BKB out for no one in time. Turns, takes out Backsaz in return. They get the 1-for-1 over to the river here. Wesson, he's going to use that axe to turn Seb to stone, kick him a nice safe distance away from himself.
One SMN.
Maybe over the mid. Thompson, he's going to have to chase down on Anku. In with the overwhelming blink, jumps in, has the punch up. Anku able to turn, gets the stun off actually, laying down the tree. But still not going to be safe enough for Overkill to commit, as he has to get up the high ground. Seb knows where to find him. See if he's able to get back to the base. Seb really wants to try and finish him off. The buyback's going to come out, in fact, from Backsaz. Wants to punish this dive from Seb. Comes straight back into the action with the buyback. Will punish Seb for trying to chase in and get that kill. And he's, in fact, going to look for more. Backsaz, he's out straight away over towards Thompson. Enough mana to pick up another. And now another one on top of that as well. Gets no tail. Backsaz with an incredibly high-value buyback.
That's an insane buyback, and the aggression from OG, great to watch, but Blink instantly punishing it. Roshan's alive.
It's up. So Backsaz, he'll be able to head over and make sure that he's got this ready for the next fight. Seb knows he doesn't want to let them have this. He comes in with the buyback, same to be said for No Tail. They don't want Blink to get this Aegis.
Yeah, this should be enough to defend it. No Tail has ultimate available. He didn't instantly throw it out that some AA players would have done. Holds it back a little bit, but the fact that OG finding some great pickoff, a little bit excited. In fairness, Slark had Rupture on him. If Seb connected on one of the spells,
he was
with
so
the Rupture
close.
Still there, it would have been like, he's dead. Does he even have buyback on Slark? He does have buyback, but probably would have forced it.
Look at them go. They're just going straight into the jungle of OG. They're looking at the setup. They've got him with the setup. He's tanky, but is he tanky enough to survive through us all? Another jump forward from Overkill. They'll continue to stay on top of Seb. He attempts to steer himself to safety, but ends up bringing Overkill with him. Turns with the disarm, but there's another dart pact, another pounce. Overkill in on top of Seb once more. And skewers that Seb's going to live. He's going to live. And in fact, with the Rupture, they're able to lay down onto Overkill. It's a bit of revenge there. You know, Seb may have died earlier diving for an attempt to kill on Overkill, but this time it's Overkill going down. Of course, at the same time whilst that dive was happening, Backsaz also dies inside the jungle of old G. So,
SMS solo.
I don't think you can solo the Roche there, my friend. He was just like, guys, what are you doing? Why are you diving the base? We want to do Roche. You don't want to help me? I'm going to do it on my own. Of course, he couldn't. He's dead.
Luckily. What the?
You know, so that's just, you know, happens to supports, isn't it? Your cores are diving, and you're like, well, just screw me, I suppose. I'm just gonna do me. Hit this Roshan. Poor lad.
He has the Veil, Hurricane Pike. He's basically a core at this point. You know, he's a big lad. But my God, yeah, Blink just putting a bit of OG play style in their own playbook and going so aggressive. But yeah, with Seb, how tanky he was. Kiting them back to the tier 3s, if not tier 4s. Oh, I just love this game. It's like, this is what you want to see from a Dota game. Scrappiness, fighting, left and right, both teams being at it. And at this point, no buyback on Storm Spirit. Tier 2's available, top on bot.
He's in. Oh, nice save though, Wesson.
Beautiful save. Oh, no.
It still died.
It still does the damage. It still does.
It does. Interesting interaction there. Indeed. So what? Even though you won't take the damage while you're in stone form, as soon as you come out of it, if you're still ruptured, you will take the damage that you went through.
Yeah.
Nice try to save him. Nice try.
If you click on the hoodwink and look at death summary, that's exactly how it shows. Like he's as Enchant Remnant, and then after it, it's like boop, 600 damage.
Well, this button don't work. Oh, it does.
There we go. See there? See how he's stunned? And then after, there's one big sum of pure damage at the end. There you go. See?
Poor old hoodwink. Didn't stand a chance. Ooh. Baxaz was back in play. Hoodwink, you know, Anku does have buyback. We'll see how much OG's able to take. Ooh, quick jump action with the Abyssal Blade. No one. It's over towards Overkill. There'll be the buyback from Anku. I'm going to try and tackle the Bloodseeker. Baxaz, he zipped out onto low ground. The Global Silence trying to keep him covered. The Silence continues to look him down, but not enough. He's out to the high ground. He's away. No one living on minimal HP here. Of course, does have that Aegis still good to go. See the Ice Blast thrown over towards the fountain. Won't quite catch any of Blink, so Blink will be okay to reset. Overkill TP's back to the base. Anku tried to get the catch onto Seb. Seb able to dodge that initial stun with the Stormcraft. Still though, as he comes down, the Vortex is in. OG, they're diving pretty deep here. Right up towards the fountain. They've taken out Baxaz. That's the Storm Death for 99. They get into the fountain. Buyback is available for Overkill though. And with the Gleipnir set up from Anku, they're holding OG close towards the fountain. Jump forward with the pounce. They bring no one low, but the cheese, it's there. No one back up to a decent amount of HP. Skewer from Seb dragging Overkill over towards no one and no tail, but the pounce is back up. Now Overkill able to spread to the side, keep his distance, but not far enough. No one still in on top of him. The ultra kill for no one. He's looking for the rampage. He's not going to get it. No tail's going to be able to take it in return. There's only one buyback available. It's from SMN. As we'll see, there's still chance for no one to get himself that rampage. In he goes. Give the man a rampage. Seb, don't you dare! Don't you dare! Oh, Seb. Come on. Well, there we go, though. GG is called. As OG will be able to take this game one against Blink. But a good game, though, T. So some fun stuff happening. A little bit of back and forth. Yeah, Blink, they gave it a pretty good shot. Looking forward to see what they can do in game two. But overall, OG, you know, when it comes to the chaos...